Hello, everybody. My name is Marsh, and this is my first impression of the anime adaptation for Nier Automata. Let's jump into it. So, to start this video off, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. But let's go ahead and get into my first impressions. So, what exactly is Nier Automata for those of you that don't know? Nier Automata is a very popular video game that was published by Square Enix, I believe. In regards to the anime, it is an adaptation of that said video game. So, what were my first impressions of their take on the video game? Well, overall, very positive to be honest. There is one minor nitpick I have in the beginning of the episode that pops up, but other than that, everything else is positive for the most part. I'm going to keep this first impressions video spoiler free. I don't want anyone who's new to it to be spoiled. I want you to experience this wonderful story for itself. Enjoy it, laugh, cry, do whatever you need to, grab some tissues, and just have a good time watching the show. Because as many of us know that have already played the game, you're in for a wild ride. Let's just say that. So in regards to my first impression, the first thing I wanted to start off is by mentioning this anime adaptation is incorporating both 2D and 3D animation. I know a lot of anime fans dislike 3D animation. I think when it's done well, it can enhance certain things. For example, Beastars is a 3D anime that's gorgeous, and some people don't even, you can't even tell. It doesn't hit that uncanny valley. But then other times you get stuff like Berserk, and it's just like, let's burn this right away and get rid of this thing and throw it away. We don't need this anymore. So it really matters how you handle this 3D. And what I find often is when they have a good mix of the two, using it to enhance certain things, but not solely focus on it. I will say, overall, the 3D animation that's used in episode 1 at least is very good for the most part. I did have issue with it though in the first 2 minutes of the episode. This isn't really a spoiler, but in the story, the main characters pilot these mech-like vehicles, and during a scene in the first 2 minutes where they're using these, I did find there were certain frames where the 3D animation looked quite bad, to be honest, and I just didn't think the fluidity and how it looked overall in the first 2 minutes wasn't very good. They kind of only did that for the first 2 minutes, and other than that, they went to 2D animation for the most part, 3D animation on a lot of the robots, and just use it to enhance. And I think there was no point in going full 3D in that first 2 minutes because a lot of the show itself stands on its own with the 2D animation, and I think it looks a lot better that way. But that was only my only nitpick for the episode so far, to be honest. Other than that, it looked beautiful outside of the first 2 minutes, and I can't wait to see what's happening. One thing I will let you know, if you plan on watching the show, I would recommend watching all the endings of each episode. So, for example, the game itself is known for its multiple endings. So when you play the game, you play it through all the way once as one character, you play it through all the way another time as another character, and then there's also a third main storyline that you do. And so there's multiple endings. I think there's over 26. They have for the whole alphabet, they letter them all. But at the end of each episode, it looks like they're doing a little skit or a little animation in regards to the specific endings you can get in the game. So that's interesting. We'll see how those are, but I'd recommend just sticking to watch them because it's fun. In terms of the actual episode itself and how they handle the story, there's two perspectives I really want to tackle it from. That of someone who's played the game and that of someone who has no clue what this is. Now, as someone who's played the game, I thoroughly enjoyed the first episode. They're combining certain things. They're staying faithful for the most part to the game, and they did a good job in capturing the opening sequence in the game in that first episode. However, for those who haven't played the game, I do slightly worry if a lot of the stuff that's being said is going to go over their heads. Even as someone who played the game, I had to look up videos on my first playthrough to explain certain things. It wasn't always clear with the storytelling. And so I'm wondering if some things aren't just going to be explained well for a lot of characters, or not a lot of characters, for a lot of people watching. We'll see what you think about it. If you've never played the game and you're interested and you're watching this, let me know if you understood the first episode or had any issues with it. I feel like there were certain moments in the episode that kind of lulled, in the sense that there wasn't like dialogue driving it, or like, for example, in the action, I feel like a lot of the action was really good, but there was a lot of like unfilled moments. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, after playing the game, it's hard, the epicness of the game and how vast and huge and big all the fights and combat is, it's hard to encapsulate that in like small moments, in these like small minutes you have to go through. So I did feel like it didn't have as much of a scale as the game did, but there's certain moments in animation where they did extremely well. So let me know, like I said before, if you have not played the game, what you think of the first episode, because I think narratively it's probably not amazing, but as someone who has played the game, it's faithful and it's good, and it's going to build up and get better, as we all know. Also, the ending is really good for the first episode. You know what happens if you know what happens, and I'm not going to say anything. I want you to go ahead and enjoy it, but the ending's really good. Overall, though, I don't really have any major complaints. Just the first 2 minutes, basically. The 3D animation didn't look great in the first 2 minutes. Other than that, I thought they did a good job overall with the combat, the character design. The dialogue was really good as well, with the voice actors being able to hear their voice again was nice. And then, as well as that, we got to see certain things such as hacking, how they interpret that. And of course, I think it looks better than it does in the game. It would look kind of silly if they did it that way. But I thought it was really good. Let me know what you think about it, though, so far. If you want, I could do a week-by-week review. I'll probably make each week a spoiler-filled episode in regards to my thoughts, now that we're after the first episode and we have those first impressions, and do spoilers from here on out. And then I'll do a season review, and that will be spoiler-free in regards to like my impressions, and then a season discussion that goes into spoilers. And to be honest, I don't know if this is going to be 13 episodes and end where the first playthrough ends, or if it's going to be like 26 episodes and go through the entirety of the game. That'll be interesting to see how they tackle that. Thank you for watching today, though. If you can like this video and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. I appreciate your time, and I hope I can see you guys next time. Bye-bye.